Conducted in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by advertisement, the Cape May Star and Wave, the Herald, and on the Township website, and posted on the bulletin boards of Township Hall.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Conrad. Councilmember Neville.
Here.
Councilmember Simonson.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Clark.
Here.
Mayor Beck.
Here. Before we begin, our condolences to Tom Conrad and his family. His father-in-law, Tom Horan, passed away, I believe, was he yesterday? And he's in our thoughts and prayers, his entire family. Okay, we move down to, we have some adjustments on the agenda, more than anything due to the storm. Out of the gate at the work session, I would ask that Detective Sergeant McComber, please step forward. I think Joe's with you. Detective Joe Boyle.
Did you want to announce the accreditation will be
It's the accreditation will be, with the originally scheduled for today, it will be March 17th.
March 17th?
Okay. And the presentation with Dave Pasovich will be April. Okay. We'll adjust that as we go along. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
How are you? Good to see you back here again. Go ahead. You want an adjustment in the ordinance?
Yeah, what we're looking at doing is amending the ordinance for secondhand merchants and secondhand dealers and stores. Presently, what they have to do is, it's just mainly for the precious metal, where they log it into a computer system that we have access to. What we're finding is a lot of the burglaries in the township has been TVs and electronics. We want to change the ordinance to include these electronics, TVs, even down to like stuff like fishing rods, which we had off of the boats, kayaks, all high dollar items we would like that these secondhand shops have to enter into this system. And it's just a matter of adjusting the ordinance we presently have.
It makes sense. I think as technology becomes more efficient, more widespread, it's a way for us to keep tabs on, and if you interdict the sales of some of these things, it also helps us with the fight against drug and substance
We went to these
abuse.
shops like 130 times this past year trying to track down stolen property.
Right.
On follow us to burglary investigation. That's a lot of time that we're spending going to these shops. Now, if they put on this computer system, I mean, it's easier just to sit at a desk and bring up what they sold that week and be able to track it by serial number.
It's much more efficient.
It's much more efficient.
Saves you guys time, saves us money, and the technology's there.
And it's there.
Sergeant, that's the rapid system
That's
that
rapid.
we started off, the council approved the last year in the ordinance to identify precious metals,
Yes, that's correct.
and you've recovered as a result a lot of stolen property.
And the cost of that system, and correct me if I'm wrong, is written into the ordinance, it's passed on to the actual dealers.
No, but that's what we want to also change.
I thought that was in there when we did it before.
That's why we upped the fee.
We're up in the fees.
Right.
To cover the expense.
Okay,
Cover the-
I
They
agree.
went from $50 originally
Yeah.
in mercantile license to $500.
Right.
Yeah, when you think about it, some of those fishing rods are worth more than a diamond ring.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had some stolen off of the.
Oh, yeah, with Canyon Club, South Jersey Marina, yeah, they're high dollar.
And if we don't keep a watch on what we're doing and keep the strict ordinance, what happens is, I think we've talked about this, people from other towns come here to sell their stolen goods too.
That's what they do.
So we, council, I guess we asked that our solicitor craft something and prepare it for council. Okay? Everybody all right with that?
Absolutely.
Okay with that? Yep. All right, we're fine. Thank you. Appreciate your taking the time to come in here, guys. All right, next up, I think we have the Rec Advisory Board. For Mark DiDonato, that's all. Mr. Luke,
Mayor, Council,
good evening.
gentlemen, Mark DiDonato, Vice Chairman of the Rec Advisory Board. We're here for a recommendation. I think you guys have a copy of
Right.
everything. This is our newest member of the Rec Advisory Board, Luke Geegan. I just want to introduce him to you. Some of you know him already.
Never saw him before.
Good kid. He's going to be a great great asset to the Rec Advisory Board. His first job on the Rec Advisory Board is going to be reading this letter to you guys. Okay. If you have any questions afterwards, we can answer them. We will.
I've just never seen him in those shoes before.
Yeah, I think you wore them in them one before.
Go with this hat.
Yeah. Luke?
The letter is titled, Dear Mr. Vole. The Recreation Advisory Board is working on the Township of Lower's 5-year Recreation Master Plan update for 2014 to 2017. We expect to have the draft Master Plan update completed for presentation to the Mayor and Council in April of this year. Within the draft updated Master Plan, the RAB is recommending that the Township explore appropriate sites for development of additional park facilities, indoor facilities, and other recreation infrastructure projects. The RAB has identified 5 such projects that the Board anticipates will enhance the overall recreation capital in the Township. These include the Beach Drive or Shore Drive public access improvements, the bike path, Douglas Park expansion, Sunset Promenade, and indoor pool. These 5 projects were prioritized by the RAB based on their value to the community, phase of planning, potential permitting constraints, cost, and shovel readiness. The project given the highest priority is the Beach Drive or Shore Drive Public Access Improvements Project. This project recently received its NJDEP CAFRA permit. The construction of the proposed improvements will greatly enhance the experience of Township residents and visitors on the Delaware Bay waterfront. A full description of the project and its benefits is attached. The purpose of this letter is to request that Mayor and Council consider this project for an April 2014 Park and Recreation Development application to the Cape May County Open Space Program. The Beach Drive or Shore Drive Public Access Improvements Project meets the purpose and objectives of Open Space Program funding as a project that will provide an amenity at a recreational area, meeting local service needs, and it demonstrates a project that will enhance the community. Based on all the above, we recommend that the Township see this project as its first priority to enhance the recreation and open space enjoyment of its residents and visitors alike, and pursue this available funding opportunity. Very truly yours, Deborah A. John, Chairman of the Recreation Advisory Board. Thank you.
Good job. Council?
I only have one comment. In the 5-year master plan, 2014 to 17, is only 4 years. So is it 13 to 17 or 14 to 18?
That's probably be 18.
18.
Probably a typo.
I think that's, are we all board with that? I think it's a worthy endeavor. Certainly it's something that we're looking forward to completion, so I think we
Mayor, we are going to put the application in for the April meeting
right.
on the Beach Drive, Shore Drive, to enhance public safety along that road. Instead of doing a 5-year plan and hoping for funding each year from the New Jersey DOT, we're going to put this application in. Hopefully we can get it done right away. It is shelf ready. All the permits are in hand. And we're going to move forward and hopefully be successful with the open space recreational program of Cape May County. Good job, Luke.
From what I understand, one of the holdups was the CAFRA permit, and that finally got approved, and that's all, everything's lined up, ready to go. So,
Sounds good.
yeah.
All right. We'll redirect our program in that direction, I guess.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Good job, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
And we move down to the Diamond Beach D project. Councilman Simonson and myself met with a couple of the people, DEP, Army Corps of Engineer. I guess it was a week ago. This is part of the project that's been envisioned for the Hereford all the way down to the Cape. And our slice is the Diamond Beach area. Went back over to last Friday. I was there at the big meeting they had. The manager was there, and some of our residents from Lower Township. And they're asking us to take a look at this. And what I would ask council tonight is to, we've set up tentatively with council's approval that the planning board on the 20th of this month would take a look at this issue, that we'll make sure the public is well aware of this, especially those residents that would be impacted over in the Diamond Beach area, that we've made preliminary arrangements for both representatives, the two people that we were talking about, from Mr. Constantino, I think his name, and Mr. Bogle from DEP and the Army Corps, for them to attend that planning board meeting and to get a recommendation from the planning board back to council in relationship to this entire project. So if council would see fit, I would shift it over there. I've already had discussions with Mike and with Bill Galestock, and he's prepared to take a look at this and to, the one thing we have to make sure is that we, get the people that would be impacted to this meeting so they can have their questions answered.
Mayor, on your
Yeah.
request and Councilman Simonson's request, I've directed Director Galestock, Bill Galestock, to send letters to the people impacted by this meeting to come to the planning board meeting on the 20th.
It's huge, and it's obviously, we've all been reading about it. It involves a lot of other towns, not just ours, but I mean, we'll move judiciously here and try and get some kind of a feel as to how the planning board and how our own residents feel about this. So is everybody on board with that? Okay with all this? Okay, so would you direct just let the board know, planning board, that we would like them to take a look at this? Okay.
It's already done, thank you.
Thank you. All right, we move now down to the consent agenda, and I would like to move to the regular agenda, two resolutions, 2014-78 and 2014-81. Okay, and with that being said, the remainder of the consent agenda, do I have any council comments or questions concerning the consent agenda? I'll open up the public comment on the consent agenda items. Okay, close the public portion.
Approval of minutes, February 19th, 2014. Resolutions number 2014-79 and 80. Resolutions 2014-82 through 2014-87. Ordinance number 2014-03, an ordinance amending Chapter 7 entitled Traffic of the Code of the Township of Lower. This is a no parking resolution on 3rd Avenue. This is the first reading. The second reading and public hearing will be held on March 17th. An ordinance number 2014-04, an ordinance of the Township of Lower amending and restating Chapter 351, Flood Damage Prevention. This is also the first reading. The second reading and public hearing on this ordinance will also be March 17th.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Councilmember Neville,
Yes.
Councilmember Simonson,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Clark,
Yes.
Mayor Beck.
Yes.
Resolution number 2014-78, payment of vouchers in the amount of $1,623,369.87.
Okay, do I have any council comments on that resolution? Any public comments on that resolution? Close the public portion. Do I have a motion to approve 2014-78?
I'll make that motion.
Second? I'll second it.
Councilmember Neville,
Yes.
Councilmember Simonson,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Clark,
Abstain.
Mayor Beck.
Yes.
Resolution Resolution number 2014-81, for the appointment of an acting municipal administrator for the remainder of the year 2014.
Engineer.
Engineer. What did I say? I'm sorry.
You're
Fine.
replacing me.
For that price, we'll take
I
it.
apologize. Appointment of acting municipal engineer for 2014 without public bidding. This is for Engineering Design Services, PA, and it's a resolution not to exceed the amount of $5,000.
I have a question. Could you just elaborate on that? Why is it without bid? This is to replace.
Yeah, it's a professional services contract. He doesn't get paid a penny, even though it says $5,000 in there, because the clerk said it's required to put a dollar amount, and it's just a bridge until we get a new engineer to replace the gentleman that resigned.
There's no money involved.
There's no money involved there.
If you look at the contract provides that it will automatically terminate as soon as
We appoint a new person.
engineer is appointed. So the sooner that gets done, the contract.
And by law, we have to have.
But yeah, I'm sorry. By law, we have to have an engineer record. It's the only reason for doing it.
All right. Is there any other council questions or comments? Public questions or comments? Do I have a motion to approve?
I move.
Do I have a second? I'll second that one.
Councilmember Neville,
Abstain.
Councilmember Simonson,
No.
Deputy Mayor Clark,
Yes.
Mayor Beck.
Yes,
That resolution does not pass.
you need three, right? Okay.
I would be open to tabling it till the next meeting if that's possible.
Well, it's already voted.
I mean, if
We'd have to
it's
come-
reintroduced.
All right. Well, yeah, we'll have to wait till the next meeting, and we have to have an engineer. Correct me if I'm wrong on that.
Just for, by statute, we have to have an engineer.
No, I understand that. I just don't know how, the selection process is a little hazy to me.
Okay. Well, I can discuss that with you if you want to table.
It's fine.
Okay. Move down to administrative reports. Is there any council questions, comments on administrative reports, council comments? Councilman Neville?
Well, just kind of curious if everybody's done shoveling snow. But Chris Kovic, when he canceled school and the rain came, I was thinking, oh man, I actually did hope it snowed and was bad enough so that it wasn't just a wasted day for the kids, and it wasn't. And with that, I want to thank the Public Works and the police for they did a pretty good job snow removing, considering the rain turned to ice. It put a layer of ice down. It made it extremely treacherous. Then the snow came and covered on top of it. It's one of the worst scenarios that there is when it comes to weather. And I'm not going to steal Eric's thunder, but the 2 Mile Crab House had a fundraiser. I'm going to let him explain. And the work that was done over there, I can't wait to see it when it opens up this spring. It's really a nice place. They've done a lot of work. It's beautiful inside there. And I didn't get a chance to hear Eric sing, but I heard he was great. Go ahead, Eric.
Thanks, Jim. You're right. It looks great. They took it over and have done a great job. And along with what Jim said, the St. Baldrick's Foundation is something that the district got involved with, especially the entitlement school, because Donna Hanson and at the time Rachel Hanson both worked at our school as teachers, along with Lauren Hanson. And Donna's granddaughter, Layton, who some of you may have read about or seen, is a cancer survivor. So we started doing the St. Baldrick's, and since 2010, between the two schools, we've raised over $100,000. We look to pass $125,000 this year for the cure to children's pediatric cancer. And that's why when you see me looking like Frankenstein up here in a couple of weeks, you'll know why, because I'll have my head shaved like the last couple of years. Or if any kids knocking on doors or you see anything that you can give, feel free to chip in. It's been a worthy cause. Along with that, it was a busy day yesterday. Along with Jim and I attended the benefit for that, and then shortly after that, I shot over to our Lower Cape Regional Performing Arts Center hosted the middle school South Jersey Honors Band. We were fortunate enough to have 7 of our own students from Titleman in it. I have to say my daughter was one of them, so I'm very proud of her, as well as the other kids. They did an awesome job. There were kids from all over. There were buses coming down from Southern Regional and you know, anywhere from an hour to hour, 20 minutes away. It was an excellent concert put on. A lot of compliments about the facility as well. They look to have it there possibly next year as well. After that, at the Middle Township Pack Center was our South Jersey Honors Choir, which consisted of several students from Sandman Elementary as well as Richard M. Titleman School. And that, again, we got that in before the snow, so that was nice because a lot of people travel to that as well. And this week, Tuesday night at 6 o'clock, if you can get over to the high school tomorrow night, our girls basketball team, under the director Scotty Douglas as the coach, they have a state playoff game, and they had a great season this year, which in turn got them a home playoff game, which is hard to get. So we hope as many people as possible can get over there to support them. That starts at 6 o'clock. And this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, something near and dear to my heart, I'd like to congratulate 3 young men from Lower Cape May Regional. Corey Damiana and Doug Flitcroft both placed second in Region 8, which is a huge accomplishment. It's only been done a handful of times in our school. They will compete in the state championships this weekend. And also Eric Brzezinski, who lost an early bout and fought his way back to take third. The top 3 go to the state. So we have 3 young men that will be participating in the NJSIA state championships this weekend in Atlantic City at Boardwalk Hall, which is quite an honor. And rounding that out, just something on a positive note, the same people that brought us the boat building program at the high school, Kevin Maloney, Greg Coffey, and Brian Sullivan, along with their cohorts, I met with Kevin and Greg this week. They have gotten their Open Spaces Trust application has been passed by, in order for them to hopefully begin shortly on their life-saving station and Maritime Museum down in, it's in the Lower Township. It is in the Higbee Beach section, which is, some of you are familiar with the old magnesite plant. So not only are they looking to put up a museum there, they'll also have, you know, a partnership with the high school helping, and also through the Coast Guard. And on top of that, I know it's in all of our interest to clean up that area that was the magnesite plant, which if you have ever been out there, it's still kind of a mess out there at the point. So this is something that looks like it's going to be a real positive for everyone in the future. And on top of that, I just want to, you know, say drive safely. And it's supposed to drop again tonight, so icy roads, be careful, and that's it for me. So that was enough, I think.
Okay, I just want to say that the sentiments that the council put forward last meeting regarding the schools and our call to Cape May to not go to court but rather come back to school, those sentiments have been heard and they've echoed and re-echoed throughout Cape May. We've seen a lot of response on social media sites, and it's clear to me that the word has gotten out and is going to continue to get out, and folks are going to be asking the question, why don't we just take a tour of the school with our tax bills in hand and evaluate what a good deal we are getting in the regional school district. Secondly, we are reinstituting the Friends of Lower Township campaign. Last year we raised, Mike, what was over $40,000 we raised through businesses and individuals here in the township to support the recreational programs of Lower Township, our concerts, our fireworks, all the other good stuff that they're doing. And they would like us to do that again this year. So we're going to be putting together a great package of benefits for those people that underwrite the program, what we're calling the Friends of Lower Township, and we'll be getting the word out about that. But we just want to put folks on notice that we're going to be supporting the recreational programs again this year through that program. That's all I have to say.
Very good. A couple quick announcements. one that we'll be talking about more and more is that we tentatively scheduled a Health and Wellness Day, which was very successful last year with Genesis Healthcare. It's not till April, but we really want to get this out there. April 22nd, and that'll be here, the rec center. And we had a really good crowd last year, didn't we? I think that was the best we've done. But we'll talk more about that as we go along. But I just wanted to put the date out there, April 22nd. And then we had the lady here. Her last name was Perez, I think it was, a while back, about the GED program. She works over at Robin's Nest, and she had sent me a program. If anybody needs this, it has to do with the government-funded program. Some of the services they provide is support for GED classes, either in person or online, one-on-one tutoring, paying for GED testing, career exploration, work readiness training, job clubs, paid work experience. Anyway, there's a number here, but it's at the Employment Services Network at the Robin's Nest Plaza. And we had her here, and she talked about GED. This is going back about a year ago. And the last thing was that we passed the resolution tonight supporting the House Bill 3370, which is a response to the original Bigger Waters Act, and it's in the package there. It was also unanimously supported last week by the Cape May County Conference of Mayors. So, with that being said, anybody who wishes to address council will open up to public comment. Feel free to come forward, ask a question, state your name, your town, and if not, we will close the public portion. And we'll move down. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous.